Okay, so the coordinates of the points F and G are there. Right now, we're asked to calculate the length of FG. So remember, with the two coordinates, I'll call one of them x1, y1, and then the other one x2, y2. Okay, so then we can get the length FG. Don't forget then using our formula, which is the square root of x2 minus x1 all squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. All right, this is something that we need to remember. So then if you put the numbers in, right, well my x2 is 4, okay, take away my x1 which is minus 2, okay, so make sure you're consistent, you know, it does say minus 2, so you've got to put minus 2 there even though there's already a minus, because that's the formula, isn't it, x2 take away x1, so x2 is 4 and x1 is minus 2, so we've got two minuses there. Y2 then is 6, take away then y1 which is 14, all squared, and you can do all that one go in your calculator. So if we get a calculator, we literally type in what we see there. Okay, so we've got square root bracket 4 minus 2 all squared plus then bracket 6 minus 14 bracket all squared. Okay, so you just type it in as you see it and you get your answer. It comes out to be 10. Alright, and we've got the marks. Then it says find the gradient of the straight line that passes through the points F, G. So remember now, to get the gradient between 2 points, gradient of FG, we need to use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So again, my y2, according to that, is 6. My y1 is 14. My x2 then is 4. My x1 is minus 2. Okay, so get our fraction, 6 minus 14 on the top, on the bottom, and 4 minus 2, and we get our answer to be minus 4/3. Okay. Part C then, it says find the equation of the straight line that passes through the midpoint of the line FG, okay, and is perpendicular to the line FG. So in this case, it might actually help to draw a little sketch, draw a little diagram. Suppose this was FG, right? And it says this line passes through the midpoint of FG. Now, if we talk about the midpoint of FG, it's about there. And it says midpoint of the line FG. Let's just create the line FG then. And it says find the equation of the straight line that passes through the midpoint of FG, so it goes through there, and is perpendicular to FG. So we want this line here that's perpendicular to it and goes through the midpoint. Remember, to get an equation of the line, we need two things, right? We need the gradient of it. We also need a point on that line. So to get the point, we can have that point, can't we? Which is the midpoint of FG. So we can work out what point that line goes through. So the midpoint of FG is that, okay? So you add the two x values, so you minus 2, add 4, and divide by 2, and then add the y values, 14 plus 6, divide by 2, okay? And we can work that out on the calculator. So I'll do the x value. I get 1. To the y value, 14 plus 6 is 20, divided by 2 is 10, isn't it? So there's my midpoint. So I know now that point there, the line goes through that point, 110. All I need now is the gradient. Remember with the gradient, right, you've got to use this m1, m2 thing, it goes minus 1, okay? And we've got minus 4/3, haven't we, for the gradient of FG. So remember we know FG, so if we call that our m1, we know the gradient to be minus 4/3. We need now the gradient perpendicular to it, and we just use this formula. So times the gradients together equals minus 1, and you can get it. Now, there's a few ways of manipulating this, right? But the way we sort of looked at is, you know, because you divide it by 3 here, you could take that up, so it'd be minus 1 times 3. And then you divide then by, because there's a minus 4 times it, take the minus 4 over. So you've got minus 4 there. So you end up having 3 on the, minus 3 on the top, minus 4 on the bottom, so that's 3/4. Okay, A quick way of remembering it as well is that the perpendicular gradient is the reciprocal, right, of it, the negative reciprocal. So because that's a minus 4/3, if you flip it 3/4 and change the sign, that's how you can get the perpendicular gradient. Flip it and change the sign, so because it's minus, change it to a positive. So now we can work out the equation. Remember now the equation is y minus y1 equals x minus x1. Okay, so we've got y minus then y1, which is 10, equals m, which is 3/4, x minus 1. Okay, we take the 4 over and times everything on that side by the 4. So we have 4y minus 40 times through by 4 equals 3x minus 3. So then we have 4y equals 3x. If I take that minus 40 over, minus 3 plus 40 will be plus 37, I think. But then don't forget, we've got to get it in that form. So we need to get ax plus by plus c. So I've got the x there. So take the 4y over, so we have minus 4y plus the 37 equals 0. And we're done.